Hey guys, so more and more I keep getting suggested videos on YouTube. I'm not really a YouTube video watcher, but I'm starting to become one apparently, because it keeps advertising manifesting coaches and manifesting channels to me. I guess it's obvious why, but I'm not a coach. But it is showing me a lot of coaches, and I keep seeing one thing lately. It seems like people like to try to refute each other on these channels, and they talk about each other and stuff. Thank God I'm not big enough for that to happen to me yet. But I saw something yesterday, and I had to make a point about this. A lot of these channels are being made by 22-year-olds too, so you have to take it with a grain of salt. But so yesterday, a 22-year-old coach with shitloads of followers made a video about how self-concept is important, but you don't need it. You don't need to do anything in your self-concept to manifest something. And then just kind of went on to talk about her experience with not doing anything purposely, to the worldview, other than about the specific thing they were trying to manifest. So a specific person, let's say. So they were able to manifest a specific person, texting them. It's never a real relationship either. It's always a text or some insignificant thing. I was able to manifest this guy texting me just because I affirmed that he would, blah, blah. So you don't need to do anything with your self-concept. You just affirm about the direct thing. And that's true. I don't have any big argument with that, but I just wanted to make a point about temporarily overriding your self-concept, and how, unless I call this stuff party tricks, because that's essentially what it is. It's making something happen that shouldn't be happening based on your self-concept. That's really all it is, and that's about how long it's going to last. It's going to be a one-off. It's going to be a one and done, flash in the pan type of thing, if you don't change the underlying self-concept that created the thing you didn't want in the first place. This isn't you can't choose. This is the law. It's the way it works. You don't get to decide the way the law works. I'm sorry, that's another bullshit thing that people say on these channels. It works however you think it does. No, it doesn't. That's not what a law is. The law works the same every time. The law is that the universe reflects you. So yes, whatever you believe and think and all that stuff about yourself and the world, that will be reflected to you, but that doesn't mean that you can believe that a law doesn't work and then it doesn't, by definition. But so basically, if you use this override technique, I am not going to fix the problem, but I am going to fix the thinking, the specific thinking about this specific thing. I'm going to fix that, or I'm going to drill affirmations into that, or I'm going to focus on this one thing and think something different than I was thinking in order to get this specific result, which doesn't always work, by the way. You don't always know what's causing the outer thing to happen, and it's not I thought this guy was going to call me and so he did. It's not always a parallel like that. But this is a dumb thing to do beyond a couple of times to prove to yourself that you can do it, if you even need to do that. And the reason it's dumb is the same reason why it is dumb to rely on insulin shots if you are a type 2 diabetic. It's the exact same thing. You will have to do this multiple times a day, every day, forever, if you don't fix the underlying problem. So these temporary overrides of your thinking in order to produce a specific outer effect are like shooting up with insulin. Eventually, when you get tired of giving yourself the insulin shot in your mind, it's going to revert right back to the way it was. Okay, you stop giving yourself insulin shots as a type 2 diabetic, the diabetes is going to start ravaging all of your organs and shit, or whatever it does to you. It's going to kill you. So it's the same thing. It's a Band-Aid, basically. And it's a Band-Aid that you can do for a while, but even with type 2 diabetics, eventually the insulin doesn't have the same effect anymore, and their body starts to deteriorate and break down due to the disease anyway. And that is what will happen to you with your thinking. If you don't change the overall set of beliefs about the world or yourself or both or whatever that is producing the outer reality that you don't like, that you're attempting to fix with the Band-Aid of forcing thoughts or forcing imagination or whatever on this one thing, you'll eventually stop having the same effect, and it will head to the inevitable point of destruction and getting, it won't work permanently. The thing that works permanently is changing you. Changing, and you are nothing. There is no you. There is only your set of beliefs. There's only your identity. There's only, what you think about yourself, believe about yourself. There's no true you other than the core of your being, which is, just a little piece of God, a little piece of divinity. Everything else is a human construct that is open to being changed. And until you actually change for real, you really change your orientation towards this area of your life that you're having to focus all this attention on and thought, until you actually change the thing that is producing that outer result, it will only be a band-aid to think about it. So like type 2 diabetic can change their diet and start exercising and doing all this stuff and get to the point where they don't have to have an insulin shot anymore, or very often. And you can do the same thing with this area of your life that you're resistant to actually changing about. You don't want to actually have to look at yourself and say, why is this happening in my life? What is it about me? What am I believing? What do I think? What experiences have I had that have shaped me into the person that is now creating this experience in my life? I don't want to look at any of that. I don't want to look at myself. I just want to look at this 3D outer thing that I think is going to fix me, that's going to give me an insulin shot, and I want to get that. Then you have to do that over and over and over and over again. And I know a lot of people just have to go through this and get to the point where it doesn't work, or the point where they have to have their leg cut off or something, to get it, figuratively. I know that you just have to learn things the hard way sometimes for certain things. I certainly have, I learned things the hard way in the relationship area, before I could get to the point where I really looked at myself and said, why am I creating all of these relationships? Why do I feel like I need this thing? What do I think is wrong with me that I think this thing is going to fix? Until I really honestly, it wasn't as bad as it seemed. It was a boogeyman, it can be very scary to go there, but it can seem really scary to go there, but it's like the Wizard of Oz, it's just like, it's really smaller. It's a big seeming thing that is really being run by some little dumb thing, and you'll figure it out and fix it. I had to get to that point the hard way. I wasn't 40 until I did that, until I had the courage to do that, until I was sick enough of trying to get this 3D thing and not being able to get it in the right way. Or I got lots of good relationships in my life, but they didn't do that thing for me that I thought they were going to. So, this must be wrong. It wasn't until 40 that I got that. After many relationships, I was always the one that ended all the relationships because they didn't do that thing for me, and I finally just got it. I finally did it. And then I met my fiance 6 months later. It's that simple. And I'm going through it the hard way. I've been going through it the hard way with weight. Weight's been my central theme, and there's always been this idea, if I just could get just perfect enough, that then, everything, all my problems that I attribute to this would just go away, when it's the same type of thing with those, it's mental work. It's not the 3D. Your body is 3D. It can't be that. I know it's not that. And yet I still, to this day, insist on going through things the hard way. It's like, I still have that mentality about it. Like, if I could just do this 3D thing, that's the thing that's sort of the final frontier that I've been working on for the last few years, is getting to the point where the illusion of the 3D solving an internal thing is dispelled. So I've intended for that, and I'm kind of like I've been experiencing the things necessary to get me there. So I get it. You got to go through certain things the hard way, especially when it seems like really important. Like the weight thing to me, I'm just like, it's like the most important thing. I can't let it go. Sometimes you just have to go through it the hard way, but sometimes you don't. And that's why I'm making this video, because if you can recognize that you're doing this with something, maybe you can stop and save yourself some time and actually go about getting what you want the right way, which isn't a temporary override of your program. It's a change in the program. So yeah, all of these affirmations and band-aid fixes, how to get your SP to text you, how to get your SP to want you, whatever. These are things that are temporary surface. Even giving yourself positive affirmations about how great you are and all that shit, that's still kind of a surface band-aid thing. I'm gonna make a video about why that is. It's a lot deeper than that, in my opinion. I'll make a video about why that is next, I think. I want to talk about that. But so, anyway, I hope that helps somebody and was coherent. Have a great day.